these Democrats, these leftists here, they're probably 2 weeks away from blaming whatever happens next on Donald Trump. They're going to pull up that statement and say it was incitement and blame him for it, the same way as please go peacefully and march on the Capitol got turned into, falsely, incitement under the law. Donald Trump is a human being. He's allowed to have a minute before he thinks about what to tell his supporters about how to behave. And you know what else? They're entitled to their anger right now. I hope they don't. I pray they don't do any return violence. I urge them not to, but they're absolutely entitled to feel enraged tonight. Dennis, I feel it too.
Well, you're talking to a kindred spirit. I've been enraged for all of my lifetime about what the left has done to Western civilization and what the left did to any country it took over. I have a video up at PragerU, and I only do 1 out of 10 videos. 90% are other people doing these videos, these 5-minute videos. And it is, why don't people hate communism as much as Nazism? It's the left has gotten a moral pass for all of its history. And this is just another example. You can say the man is Hitler and get away with it. You can say that he inspired an insurrection. Do you know that I condemned it? It happened, I'll never forget, in the last 20 minutes of my radio show. And I said, this is awful. I condemned the entering of the Capitol. The next day, though, I also added to that, and I said, I know what's going to happen. The left will use this the way in which the Germans used the Reichstag fire as an excuse to suppress liberty in the United States. They used it then in Germany, and they will use it now here. And that's exactly what has happened. It has been used by the DOJ to suppress liberty in America. Who suppresses dissent in the United States or almost anywhere? Conservatives or leftists? Of course we have a right. We don't have a right to be angry. We have a moral duty.
Yes. They ruined his first term by calling him illegitimate from day one, including Hillary Clinton. They spent 4 years accusing him falsely of colluding with the Russians and being some sort of Manchurian candidate. They impeached him over a BS phone call, accusing him of doing something we would later learn the current president, Joe Biden, was effectively doing when it comes to Ukraine, according to the allegations, trading favors for corrupt purposes. They impeached him a second time as he was on his way out of office. They changed the law in New York State to get him so that E. Jean Carroll could resurrect a 30-year-old claim she didn't even know she had. She couldn't remember the year in which he allegedly sexually assaulted her in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room. And sure enough, she brought the case, funded by Democrat activists, and won ultimately $80 million because Trump not only denied it, but continued to say, I don't even know who that is. A left-wing judge slapped him with a liability verdict after the jury so found, and a defamation claim that made people's eyes open as the woman celebrated it on MSNBC, saying she was going to buy Rachel Maddow Paris, France. They brought a nearly $500 million case against his business over some BS fraud claim that not a single bank who was allegedly defrauded complained about, and shut down, essentially, the Trump operation in the state of New York. They filed a criminal indictment against a sitting former president of the United States for the first time in our nearly 250-year history for a bookkeeping error at best that he put into an accounting book that no one saw about his hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. They indicted him again down in Florida for taking presidential records that Joe Biden also took, though he'd never been president, so he was not able to declassify anything. Same offense, he didn't get charged. Trump facing charges down there. They indicted him over January 6th, the same thing that he got impeached over, but they wouldn't actually convict him, a thing the Democrats could not let go of. That claim has now been all but gutted by the U.S. Supreme Court, saying you were out of line. And then they indicted him in Georgia by a corrupt prosecutor down there who couldn't keep her legs together long enough to bring the case without creating a massive conflict of interest for herself. And she's now about to be bumped off that case on appeal. What happens next? He's on his way to getting the nomination. Joe Biden is infirm, as we all saw at that debate. The panic button has officially been hit on the Democratic side, and Trump has never been more of a threat. And now tonight, after calling him Hitler on newspaper magazines and informally respected newspapers, they sit and they say, really, he should tone down the rhetoric? Really, he should be calling for his side to behave better. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.